G'day guys, Disney Dave coming at you once again from down under. Oh man, it is 7 o'clock AM on a Friday morning. This is way too early for me to be up. I mean, I'm usually waking up at this time to go to work, but this is so odd. I had to wake up at 6:30 AM to get in my car and go to the cinemas. Who does that? Who goes to the movies this early? This is crazy. Why am I going to the movies this early? I am going to the Melbourne preview screening of Beauty and the Beast. I'm so excited for today. I'm seeing it about 3 weeks earlier than it is released in Australia. It's released, I think, in 2 weeks in the USA. They're checking people in at 8:45. The movie starts at 9 AM. The cinema that they're playing the movie in is just outside of the city. I live about 20 minutes outside of the city, but at this time of the morning, it's absolutely pandemonium on the roads. I'm not even moving right now. Woo! Absolutely miserable morning. That's the city right through there. Usually you can get a pretty good view of it, but it is just completely clouded over this morning. It's supposed to be 30 degrees this afternoon. Welcome to summer in Melbourne, where we can have 4 seasons in one day. Traffic isn't so bad at this end of the freeway. It's once you get down the other end where people are trying to get off the freeway to get into the city. Oh man. I want to try and get off here. Look, I've stopped already, just trying to get off the freeway. I've still got about an hour until check-in. I'm moving now. Okay, this is it. Village Cinemas at the Jam Factory. It is 8:15, so I've got plenty of time to spare. I've got about half an hour, which is awesome. I was hoping that I'd get there with just a little bit of time to spare, because that's always better than getting there bang on the time that you're supposed to be there and you're sort of rushing and stuff. Got my ticket. I was feeling a little tired when I woke up. I don't care. I'm feeling awake, I'm feeling vibrant, and I'm ready to go. It feels so weird. What have I done here? I always do this. I take the wrong turn into the car park and wind up who knows where. Always do this. Unbelievable. All right, we're back on the road. This is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies that I'm so excited to see what they do with this live action adaptation. All right, I've pulled up. Turn the car off. What are you beeping at me for? Lights. This is it. We're going to go see Beauty and the Beast. All right, we're finally inside Village Cinemas Jam Factory. This is a crazy time. I'm telling you, I've never had to get up this early to go and see a movie ever. Usually the Disney previews I'm used to going to see are 6:30 PM the evening before the movie comes out, or maybe sometimes like 11:30 AM on a Sunday afternoon, the weekend before the movie comes out. But this is 9 AM on a Friday morning, 3 weeks before the movie is released. And that is just absolutely crazy. This is unprecedented. You're probably thinking, it looks really, what's going on? Nothing's going on. Well, the thing is, this is a preview screening. It's not a premiere. The difference is preview screenings are more nondescript, as you can see. There's not a big hurrah. People don't really know they're going on. No red carpets, none of that kind of stuff. It's really good. I absolutely love it. I've seen the Disney representatives heading up, so I can go up early and then just wait around outside until it's time to get into the cinemas. This is awesome. Okay, finally up here in the cinemas. I gotta go check in, show my ticket, and then we're gonna go into the movie. Alright, I've been waiting around for about 10 minutes and we are ready to go into the cinema already. Super pumped to go and see this movie. I'm so excited for this, and then I'm going to come out and give you my review. This is awesome. Let's go.
Yeah. One of the lists came out the other day.
Wow. Okay, the screening has just let out. I can't put words together right now. I'm going to try and get my words together. Look, I'm going to head home and give a review once I get back home. But wow. Now, I told you the screening was really early. Look at this. Cinema's not even open yet. Come on. Wow. Oh man, it's actually bright out here. What is going on? What did I tell you? Raining this morning, hot this afternoon. Melbourne is just absolutely nuts. Now, I am on my way home, but I've actually just remembered that there's just somewhere I want to stop off on the way home. So we're going to do that, then we're going to head home and do the review. All right, we're here. Heartland Record, this is where I wanted to come to. If you're in Melbourne or you're around Melbourne and you love music, you love vinyl, Heartland Records is the place to go. There's something in here I want to pick up. All right, awesome. How cool is this? Picture disc vinyl. Apparently this was some record store day exclusive, so this is a really good day for Disney stuff. All right, time to get home now. And home. All right, finally time for the review. Alright, I can finally talk about the movie. Oh man! Oh, I cannot put words to this movie. I have still got a smile from cheek to cheek. This movie was amazing. Beauty and the Beast, the original animated film, came out when I was only 3 months old. So naturally, it was one of the very first Disney animations I ever saw. And it's one that I grew up loving. It is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. So to say that I've been eagerly anticipating this movie is a little bit of an understatement. Now, I had high expectations going into this because I've absolutely loved every single one of the animation to live action adaptations that Disney have done over the last 3 or 4 years. And this is the one that I have been looking forward to the most. Now, that's a little bit scary sometimes because you can go in with high expectations and come out a little bit disappointed. But I just have to say, this movie was all I was hoping it would be and heaps more. Absolutely everything about it was practically perfect. The casting here is spectacular. And for all those people out there doubting Emma Watson's ability to play Belle, I'm sorry, but you are completely wrong. Emma Watson was the perfect choice to play Belle. She is simply gorgeous, she is charming, and she is incredible. She is Belle. Now, her portrayal of Belle is a little bit different because 26 years ago when this movie was released, females were portrayed a little bit different in film. And even the story of Beauty and the Beast is a little bit unrealistic today. The spin that Emma Watson gives to the character of Belle makes this story believable again. Makes Belle and her actions throughout the film believable again. It's a really modern twist on the character. It's definitely what this film needed to keep it grounded and keep it a little bit realistic. Ewan McGregor was fantastic as Lumiere, Ian McKellen as Cogsworth, Emma Thompson as Mrs. Pot, Stanley Tucci was in the movie, Kevin Kline was incredible, Luke Evans as Gaston, and oh man, Josh Gad as LeFou. Of course, we've got Alan Menken back to write the score for this film. He wrote the score and the music for the original animated version as well. So to have that original score that is full of soul emotion and that brings so much nostalgia to people when they hear it, it's so good to have that back in the movie. His score is obviously a little bit reworked, but it does have glimmers of the original Academy Award winning score in there that from the very first frame of the film makes you feel all kinds of nostalgic and warm. The production design on this movie was gorgeous as well. If this movie does not get at least an Oscar nod, if not a win, for the costume design, the set design, the visual design, I will be completely baffled because this is one of the most visually gorgeous movies I've seen since maybe The Great Gatsby, which I think is just one of the most incredibly gorgeous movies of all time. Look, am I just fanboying at the moment? Am I embellishing it a little bit? Am I just reacting like this because I love the original movie so much? I don't know, but I don't think so. This movie, I think even for anyone who hasn't seen the animated film, is going to be really special. I spoke about this in a previous video about how stories have been told over and over again for thousands of years. And new adaptations of stories appear every generation. Of course, when I was younger, there was the animated version of Beauty and the Beast. And now for this new generation of children, it's the live action version that they're going to grow up with as well. And this movie is going to be just as special to them as the animated film was to my generation when we were growing up. If there's one thing that I can say that I didn't like about, wasn't even that I didn't like about the movie, it was one thing that I think maybe didn't work, maybe pulled me out of the film a little bit. There is a very small handful of original songs in this movie, alongside those written by Howard Ashman with Alan Menken 30 years ago. The new songs have been penned by Tim Rice. Tim Rice also helped finish off Howard Ashman's work on Aladdin after he passed away. So he's sort of stepping into these shoes again. But the thing I felt about his songs were that they just stuck out like a sore nose. And I don't know if that's because I have so much nostalgia linked to the old film. I'm so familiar with the old film that anything new was a little bit jarring. I really think, honestly, that his work, his songs just weren't as touching as Howard Ashman's. Howard Ashman is irreplaceable. He had a unique voice and no one can imitate that voice. No matter how hard, no matter who you are. Even Tim Rice, who has written some amazing music over the years. But I do have to give props to Disney for at least doing this, because I know a lot of people were complaining they're just doing the same movie over and over again. It's going to be exactly the same. Well, Disney have gone out on a limb and they've gone, well, let's write some new music for it to make it a little bit more fresh and a little bit new. That's a bold move, and that's a really, really good move. So the movie doesn't lose marks for that, for me. It was just something that I felt might have been a little bit jarring. One thing people were really complaining about when they saw the trailers, or were a little bit worried about when they saw the trailers, was that this movie was going to be just a literal adaptation of the animated film. Well, I have to say that that is completely false as well. This is a completely fresh take on the movie that happens to use iconography and characters and music from the animated version. It's not a shot-for-shot remake. There's a lot of new stuff in this movie. There's a lot of new character development for the characters in this movie as well, which was incredibly welcome, and I thought was done absolutely perfectly. The characters in this movie have a lot more motive than they did in the original animated film, and it makes the film just feel a little bit more realistic and just gives it just that extra little bit more depth. The movie was spectacular. It just completely blew my mind. I was crying in this movie. I'm not afraid to admit that I cried 3 or 4 times, and I am a grown-ass man. And I'm sitting here watching Beauty and the Beast, and by the time the last scene comes on, the waterworks began. There was not a dry eye in the theater. This movie is so emotional, it's so touching, and it's so incredible. Beauty and the Beast, I'm going to give 5 roses out of 5. I love this movie. This is my favorite movie of the year so far. It's also the only movie I've seen at the cinemas this year so far. But this is going to be a big year for movies, and there's so many amazing movies coming out this year, especially from Disney, that this is just a really awesome way to kick off 2017. Go out, see this movie when it's released. It's released on the 17th of March in the United States, and it's released on the 23rd of March over here in Australia and the UK. Well, that rounds out this little review video here. To all those new to the channel, I really hope you enjoyed what you saw. And if you did, after the jump, please hit subscribe. To all my regular viewers, thank you for joining me once again. And to absolutely everybody out there, I do hope I see you soon. Until then though, guys, take care, and I hope you have a magical day.